Alright, so let's not beat around the bush right now, guys. I'm not going to sit here and make an in-depth video on why AAV is better and AA is horrible, because we all know the obvious answer, and that's Anime Odyssey. Anyways, I've been contemplating on releasing this video or not, because I might sound too harsh, but who cares, man? It's subjective though, am I right, guys? But the main topic of this video will be on AA, so beware, you nostalgia demons. This video might be a little too much for you to handle. Alright, cool. And don't forget, man, we're on our way to 8,000 subscribers, so don't forget to make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Alright, so we all know Anime Adventures is flopping pretty bad, and the nostalgia demons are like going insane. At one point, my old Discord server might have more players than AA, and that's sad to say, because AA was like a really huge game, right? And I even made a video on saying Anime Adventures, please don't, what was it, don't flop, don't sell, I don't remember the title, don't fumble this, I think. And you know what they did? They fumbled. And that's the time recording this video. AA is at 4,200 players, right? And if you want to round it, that's like 3,000 players. And if you double it by 2, that's like 2,000. Low key, really, AA got like 500 players. If you really think about it, bro, with the math I just did, it does make sense, right? But I'm bored. Let's discuss this, right? So recently, I've been feeling devious a little bit, right? I don't want to say devious, more like nosy, right? I will look up someone who's streaming AA on TikTok or Twitch, etc., whatever, right? And they're always talking about AV. Now, why is that? Let's just think about it for a little bit, right? Why are you guys so mad? I have yet to see a diehard AA content creator make a video and hold the devs accountable for the state of the game, right? It seems like they're so critical about AV and what they do right and do wrong, right? How can you judge AV when your game is your game is doo-doo, bro? And hold on. Why is it that every time y'all get into an argument with someone from the AV community, you guys always bring up macros? And why is that? Every game has macros. Anime Adventures has had macros before AV was even a thing. So why is macros the scapegoat? He'd be like, well, they're cooking me in chat right now. One thing I can't do is bring up macros. Well, at least my game isn't called Anime Macro Guards. What are you talking about? If AA was macro free, that argument will hold a lot of like credibility, right? And then you'd be like, whoa, AA didn't have macros before the shutdown. Well, that's because Synapse, Fluxus, Electron, we had all of these and these exploiters explain on AA, which isn't too different from and Macroin if you really think about it, right? Because AA doesn't have an anti-cheat, right? If they do, it's horrible. Let me say this though, right? A lot of mobile players consistently hate people that macro. Let me rephrase that. Mobile players who play AV hate people who macro, right? Which I can understand to a degree, but have you ever heard of a mobile player hating on AA, calling the grind horrible? No. You wanna know why? Because AA doesn't have an anti-cheat, so they can use Electron, Fluxus, but they go to AV, they get banned. That's what it's. So your whole argument being that macros, if your main argument is about macros, just give it up, bro. It's over. Next time I go to one of these streams, it's time to start holding the game accountable. You know the game is trash. You know, matter of fact, let's talk about the state of the game right now, right? AVs, the state of AVs, beautiful, magnificent, glazing to the max. It's just, oh my, just perfection. You go to AA, it's boring. The cycle is horrible. And most importantly, the reason why AA is flopping the way it is right now is because it's not rewarded. And now, stay with me. Yes, AA has level milestones that gives you like, what, 40, 50 views? Cool. You have your daily challenge that you can get like, what, 10 a day? Cool. You have your dungeons. I believe they get that to you too, right? That's cool. And you have your quest, right? That's cool. I'm going to say this so you guys can understand, right? When you want to evolve a particular unit, if you need one green star, you have to pray that the star fruit capsules give it to you, or you have to pray that you have a challenge that gives you star fruits and it's completely RNG based, right? And I don't know why, after like 40 something updates, there isn't a star fruit crafter. Why can't we convert yellow star fruits into the different colors, which will make the grind a whole lot easier? This is why I say it's not rewarding. Not to talk about the rewards you get from portals and stuff, and the rerolls isn't even the main issue with AA, right? All of you nostalgia demons can be like, whoa, I like AA because it feels rewarding to get unique. Brother, Stop lying. Stop it. No, it's not. While AV has an Essence Stone crafter, which you can craft any single Essence Stones. They have shops, they have end rerolls and gold and all. AV makes it to where you can actually enjoy the game without having to spend half your lifespan grinding for one particular thing. Yes, the Sun Jin Woo grind is long because it's a permanent Vanguard unit that's never leaving. You can do that at on your own time, right? And this is why AV is doing well. The game is rewarding, and then on top of the MVP rewards, it makes it to where players are more motivated to play with friends, compete against each other, get the most damage, get 2x rewards, right? It is really easy to evolve units. The game is faster paced. You can get 5,000 takedowns in like 20 minutes tops. 5,000 takedowns in AA is taking you damn near 3 hours, bro. You see what I'm saying? There is no incentive to play anime adventures, right? And then here's the thing, right? Now I might be a little too harsh. Well, man, look, check this out. I am just annoyed that AA is flopping. All just hype for what? And another core reason why it's flopping, right? Which is completely subjective. It's just that the game, Anime Adventures, there's no reason to play it. Now hear me out. You have Anime Last Stand. Anime Last Stand is a fever dream, you know? You can get unlimited rerolls. There's plenty of content. Actually, ALS has actually improved a lot. So I gotta give them where, you know, credit's due. There's a lot of game modes, you know? It's easy to get things in that game. It's rewarding. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? It's not too difficult, but yet a new player can go to ALS and have a lot of fun. It's basically a fever dream for those who can't get good traits in other games. You know what I'm saying? And that's why ALS is doing so good, because they have an audience that's made for that game. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I play ALS? You know, occasionally there and there, and I can see why the game is doing good, because all the things they offer to the player, it's right there. And then you have Enemy World Tower Defense. If you want a hardcore kind of tower defense game that requires you to learn leader skills and a bunch of team building, then Enemy World Tower Defense is your game to play. If you want a high quality, well-made, you know, structured game like Enemy Vanguards, and there you go. But then you have Anime Adventures. At their core, all tower defense games are technically the same. They have the same gameplay loop, but Anime Adventures right now offers nothing, right? And I say this all the time, if AA didn't add 2x rewards for the weekends, they wouldn't even have that many players right now. If you want me to be honest. And that's what it is. And now you nostalgia demons are seeing the backlash of what everyone was trying to tell you. The result of that, you know? It's time to stop attacking games and let's start holding the devs accountable. And let's hold AA accountable so they can grow, they can develop things better, you know? Like take AV for a perfect example, right? I'm not gonna get too much into that because I got a whole video planned for that. But basically, the reason why AV was flopping was one, because of the old dev team, and two, they were copying another game style. But once they found their own style and how they do things, AV is incredible right now. But I'm not gonna get too much about it. Even though this video is technically AV versus AA, I'm not really gonna say too many bad things about AV because one, Glazer, two, it's just better, three, it's just better, right? And I think it's that Anime Adventures, they failed to innovate in the modern days of anime tower defense games, right? Your modern ATD has more quals than AA can ever imagine, right? And after 40 plus updates, you would think that AA improved drastically, but that wasn't the case. Yeah, that dungeon game mode was really fun. It reminded me of the Labyrinth, but other than that, like I have no reason to play AA other than the dungeons, right? And I feel like if AA just focused on the gameplay, the game will slowly get back to its original state. If Anime Last Stand can make a comeback and Anime Vanguards can make a comeback, AA for sure can make a comeback, right guys? Because it's still a big game. If they just learn to innovate and do things right, then maybe they can scrape 30k players again. But at this pace, nothing's going to change. There's no communication with us and the developers, right? It's just cold, right? It's just like they think, just like if you guys don't know, right? AA in the past didn't communicate. It went from I remember like they used to drop a GIF and that was all we would get about the update. Wait, hold on. At least back in the day, they gave us some type of idea what the update was going to be about. Now it's just there's no communication. How can you expect to gain that merit and that trust between you and the community if there's no communication? It's like the way I see right now, we're like a purse to them, right? Money bag. Whatever you want to call it. They're going to do the same slop again, and most of us are going to spend hundreds of thousands of Robux. They make more money, they dip again for a month or two, and they come back, right? If Go and them really want Anime Adventures to succeed, they got to start communicating, bro. they gotta start dropping sneaks. They gotta start doing things the community wants added into the game, you know? If not, AA will probably be dead in 2 weeks. You know, I forgot where I was going with that, but let me just say this. AV is just miles better. You can bring AA's prime versus update 3 of Anime Vanguards, and AV is taking that dub. 10 out of 10, right? If we're looking at it objectively and without nostalgia, AV is winning 10 out of 10 without a doubt. And I remember when one of the main scapegoats used to be, oh well, AA has more content. Does that really matter when the game is born? Does the quantity of AA's content really matter when 95% of that content is born? There's no point of playing, right? Now I'm just trying to see eye to eye with you guys, because I do want AA to come back, because it's still a good game to me. It's just not on the tiers of Anime Vanguards, Anime Last Stand. And yes, everyone can play whatever they want to. I'm not saying, hey, AA is bad, quit the game. No, I'm just giving criticism to a game I once enjoyed, right? And here's the thing, even if AA right now drops the biggest update that's better than least of anything we've ever seen before, right? It's not going to do good. Even if it objectively hits all check marks, it's not going to do good. There is no communication between us and the devs. A lot of people are going to go into the next update with hate and not giving the game benefit of the doubt, right? They're going to play the game for a few minutes, see nothing change, redeem that boo-boo code for 500 gems and like 10-star rims, and then dip, because you're not giving us a reason to play AA, right? Even if it's a soul level update, they're going to get on, they're going to be like, bro, I'm going back to AV or Anime Last Stand or AWTD, you know? It's just how it is. That's just the current state of it, right? And dialing back on innovation thing, AV's getting ready, although they already done leaked it within their last document. If you look up the latest update log and you highlight over the marked out text, it says PvP. While AA is stuck in the portals, legend stages, and raids type of cycle, AV is already expanding to have a PvP side for their game. You know what I'm saying? And they have a quarter of updates of what AA has had already. And this is what I talk about. Now, this isn't shade towards anybody, because I don't really care about beef, but this one guy made a very interesting point. I want to say it was interesting. It was more ignorant than anything, because instead of acknowledging that Aizen had horrible drop rates and that the game was in a horrible state, he was like, well, I have Aizen, so-and-so has Aizen, and we didn't macro. So how was that a bad grind? Well, one, you either got lucky, or two, you traded for Aizen. He made me lose a couple of brain cells, because you are trying to defend Anime Adventure's bad game design by saying you got an Aizen. Okay, without macroing. Okay, toodles to you. You're probably a content creator who gets paid to stream or make videos. You know, not everybody has that, you know, luxury of doing things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I traded Aizen for a Alucard with no effort. I didn't even macro the Christmas, the Christmas thingy. All I did was promote informals and use it for gems and stuff. Okay, cool. I have an Aizen too. You know, it's just using you obtaining Aizen to defend bad game design is something I never understand. But yeah, guys, I don't want to drag this out for too long. I think you guys got the message, right? AV is better in every single aspect. AA has a chance to come back. Then again, I would die on this hill. And then again, guys, before I end it, I would, like I said earlier, I would die on this hill. You know, you could bring the whole army. I'm gonna have my knight, my sword, my shield. You can bring it, or you can bring everybody, bro. Update 3 of Anime Vanguards is better than anything AA has ever put out.